What's up, YouTube? Today I'm going to show a replay, uh, a game I played off of stream, and talk about my Ottoman 2TC build, why I use it, what the goal is, that kind of thing. So, put it in caster mode, going for our early military school opening, the usual. Put the early game on 2x. I'm playing against China. This guy actually just rinses me on the sheep. He absolutely rinses me on the sheep, so I managed to get the sheep, up in this area around my base, but, yeah, he went 2 scouts. And, he just gets all the sheep. Chinese have that, ability where their scouts see further, and he immediately heads towards my side of the map, and just gets really all of my sheep, and I run my scout, because I saw this scout over here, so I'm like, okay, I know the sheep over here are gone, so I'll try to get sheep over here. And then I see this scout with all these sheep already in this area. I'm like, okay, I'll try to get sheep over here. And there's his scout going back this way, so got absolutely rinsed on the sheep. But, because my scout's down here, I'm able to find his gold. It takes me too long to get the spearmen moving. Yep, I made quite a few mistakes, yeah. Not sure what I could have done better with the scouting. Once they go 2 scouts as Chinese, it's be hard to get sheep. So at this point of the game, I know I'm playing against China, and I have not for sure decided whether I'm going 2TC or not, right? I'd like to see how this early aggression goes, and where they put their Barbican, what they're kind of doing. And there's 2 builds you can do against China. Well, there's more than that. You always need to scout your opponent, see what they're doing, and react. But the main things you can do against China is just mass army and feudal, sipahi archery all in, camp the food sources, make sure they don't get the food sources, and yeah, just try to kill them. But I also, as you guys might have seen in my recent Ottoman build order guides, I like to mix in other builds as well. And I get some decent value out of this early spearman. He pulls away from gold completely. The Chinese can still get gold from their taxes. And it's at this point that I decide, okay, I kind of have him, not going for the stone just yet. And I kind of decide I'm going for the 2TC for sure. Well, I had already decided a minute ago, but yeah. I decided I'm going for the 2TC for sure. So the reason I decided to go for 2TC is because I feel like I will be able to delay his second TC by a lot, and I'll be able to get mine down earlier. And I just, in general, with 2TC Ottomans, I feel, my economy is obviously a lot better after, the TC pays off. And I just feel more comfortable losing my army. And you'd never want to lose your army, obviously, right? But if you're doing a 1 TC all in and you lose your entire army, that's gonna... Generally, the enemy will counter push and just end the game and you just lose. But if you have 2 TC economy going and you lose a fight, you can afford to stay in the game because you're not super behind eco-wise. So I think the 2 TC play is, for me, I like it. It's a little bit safer. I like to go to Castle Age anyways. I like knights. I like crossbows. I love getting free mangonels from my Castle Age landmark. So my goal this game is going to be 2 TC and put some aggression on in Feudal Age, but try to really end the game in Castle Age. And I've, basically decided I'm going for that, pretty early. Once I decide, I realize, hey, I'm going to be able to keep him off stone for a minute, I decide to go for it. So he is dropping the archery range, but I'm already dropping stable, and I switched this over to sipahi. There's one more spearman coming out, which may be a mistake. I don't know. I probably should have switched this to sipahi and canceled the spearman earlier. But I've completely destroyed the mining camp here. I know he's still not on stone, so I'm really happy with what my timing is going to be for the TC. As you can see, I'm almost ready to get my TC, whereas he hasn't even started gathering stone. And I'm just kind of looking for places I can poke, anything I can attack. Obviously, right now, all his villagers are in a safe place for the most part. And I do scout the Barbican going down, but with all the villagers on it, I mean, there's no point running up spearman over there. It's going to be done before I get over there. I just want to be here to be ready for him going for the stone. That's my goal right now. And I'm dropping my second TC now. Got a second military school as well. And I actually didn't have vision on this area of the map over here, which is a mistake. But I knew I could just drop my TC here because there was deer and gold, and I could protect my gold, and that would be okay. So that's what I ended up doing. I don't think this would have been a much better spot anyways. It could have, I don't know. Doesn't matter. This is what I go for. And even with just these spearmen out here, he still hasn't started going for the stone. And I definitely should have caught this earlier, so this is a mistake on my part, 100%. Could have been poking at these villagers a lot earlier. I think I was focused on killing deer around my town center or something down here, the town center that's building. But this is when I, realized, hey, I can attack this gold. And, at this point, he has to take military control just to get out to the stone, and that's really good for me because I've already dropped my second TC and he hasn't started gathering the stone. He also doesn't have gold for Zhukanu, or I guess he has some gold now, but... So at this point, I forced him to make enough units to come out and deal with this force I've got massed in front of his gold here. And I've picked off a villager or two, I believe. Maybe not yet. But I will right here. Two villager kills, and now I'm ahead on villagers, even though he's Chinese Song Dynasty. I'm ahead now because my 2 TCs are kicking in. But he has more army than me because he hasn't gone for the TC yet, so I'm just backing up at this point. And I could have actually pathed them to go out further this way, and that would have been better. Instead, I lose a few units here. But, like I said, we went 2 TC and he hasn't even built his second TC yet. I'm feeling pretty comfortable, and I just kind of like throw these spearmen away so the rest of my units can get away. Managed to kill the scout, which is okay, I guess, at that point. But now I'm really online. I have 2 military schools, 2 archery ranges, got a stable and a barracks, and 2 town centers. I'm really coming online. So he's going for the TC now, delayed, which I think might be a mistake by him. At this point, he maybe should have gone for a big push, but instead he decides to go for the TC, so that hurts his military as he decides to push across. And I think I end up taking another bad fight here. So the second you see that your opponent's massive Jugunu, which is, you know, you could pretty much guess, you really should be getting the iron undermesh. I'm still not mining gold. I think it was a mistake. I should have started mining gold by now. But we can learn from my mistakes together. Let's hold it for a second here. And you see how my army gets shredded by the Jugunu. The military count is even. Jugunu are insane. And I needed the range defense if I was going to fight. So this fight doesn't go exceptionally well. But we're still, you know, we're able to not always, like, take fights that aren't always ideal. And still, like, continue to play the game, not just insta-lose, because we have 2 towns to push, right? We can replenish our army. And, yeah. Catch this villager here. But at this point, we're close to his base, and he's got a decent sized army coming out. And this is a mistake. I'm overextending this army, trying to find the TC, or trying to check the stone, all this stuff. I definitely overextended. I think I lose a lot of in the air. And I still don't have villagers. I'm in queue. I do finally have villagers on gold. This fight can go really close. Mostly for the These things are insane. But behind this, we're now 9 villagers ahead. Chinese. And he really probably should have pushed and tried to do more damage here. I'm not sure what ends up happening, but I'm able to replenish really quickly with the autos. That's what I do. I think at this point he's just wanting to secure more map control, and he doesn't push with this army. But he could have gone for this deer and still moved forward with this army, so I think that's a pretty big mistake on his part. So I'll push his advantage here. You see, I'll fast forward for a second. It doesn't take me long to catch back up in the military department. I'm still 7 villagers ahead. And yeah, he could have been doing something with this army. He could have been pressuring somewhere. But he allows me to just replenish. Now, I'm not saying I would have lost the game if he pushed forward with his army. I don't think he had enough for that necessarily. But yeah, it could have made my life more difficult. Another mistake I make is I never go for the steer out here. Never even scouted the steers, so that's a pretty big mistake I made this game, but now our military numbers are even, and he's also catching up in villagers, however, because it's Song Dynasty. And he's going castle. So at this point I'm actually kind of behind, but my macro is getting there. As far as castle, see, I have 850 food per minute now, plenty of gold. We headed up to castle very shortly, and at this point I'm just trying to catch his food. So you know that China goes through their food really quickly. So I was thinking he'd be out here, and that's where I sent most of my army. Well, he was over here, so I'm still able to do a little damage here with these sipahi in a second. He starts moving his army this way a little bit. And I'm also able to catch these 2 villagers out here and destroy that tower. And this just kind of Like, the point of all this is that I want to get my age up, right? He's an age ahead of me right now. I don't really want to take a big fight with his army. I just want to keep him running his army around. I don't want his army to show up in my base just yet, because I'm not ready for that. So I quickly pulled this back the second I realized his army's moving this way. And, almost to castle H now. Nice. His army's coming. And he really needs to upgrade some of these units. Looks like we're still working with mostly feudal age units there, so. Wow, I'm instantly trying to get upgrades for my units. I don't know what happened here because I queued this upgrade and then I cancelled it on accident, so that was unfortunate, but I think I get it later. Or actually, I just kind of switched into knights after I realized I didn't get this upgrade. And I'm just going out to try to find anywhere to do damage. And at this point, he doesn't really have villagers out on the map outside of his base. This is where I could have done damage with the sipahi maybe, but I ended up just burning down some towers or something. And I do a really poor job of contesting relics, but this is the power of 2TC Ottomans and getting these military schools online. Is you can make these kind of mistakes and you'll still be able to mass a really good army. Now, I'm not saying I should make these kind of mistakes. Obviously, I'm going to keep working to improve, always working to improve. The biggest thing I realized this game that I need to work on is my castle age economy. And castle age economy management is really bad. Anyways. At this point, I think I move out and take this fight, and even though I don't think this fight necessarily goes my way, but it goes well enough, and I'm just constantly replenishing units at this point. Just I dropped a bunch more stables, and I'm just able to get out tons of knights. I do end up just taking this fight. And like I said, I don't think it goes well for me, but it doesn't go bad. And I'm just making even better units back at home, crossbows, knights. He's still working with unupgraded shooters, so lots of mistakes from him in this game. As well, he really needs to upgrade his units. And this is where Chinese kind of struggles a little bit, as they're going for farms and they're also going for siege. They don't have enough wood for all of it. And they're struggling with getting food on the map, so this is where you want to be pushing Chinese, and that's what I'm working towards here. I'm able to take out this army pretty easily at this point. Yeah, I've got the Vizier point for, I'll show you guys my Vizier points real quick. I've got an extra military school, the Metter, and I've got the Advanced Academy so that my military schools can produce knights and janissaries. I usually just put this on knights unless for some reason I really need to switch out of a knight comp into something else. I think the next thing I spend my points on is this. Eventually I get this just to get the 8 janissaries because I was about to end the game. And let's go Spectator UI. And yeah, this game's about to be wrapped up. I'm getting ready to make a big push. I've got Mangonel coming out and another Mangonel coming out shortly. And he has a nest of bees, but I'm able to just pull out because I just have a lot more tanky units to and at this point I was feeling really confident about the game. And I just want to do damage. And eventually, I realized this is where all his food is. I destroyed this to stop the golden pump. And I just start running units to this. It's not quite over yet. He's still got a decent economy going. He manages to get out a bunch more units. So this is where I've thrown games away in the past, is you have a position like this and you just keep flooding and keep trying to do damage and kill villagers until you lose all your units and your opponent can make a big counter push and they win. So you want to be careful not to just throw away all units, right? Like, it's good to dive and kill villagers like I am right now, but don't stay under the TC forever and don't resolve. That punch should pull these guys. Farms earlier. We're out here just doing a lot of damage to his farms now. He does get up enough units to kind of force me away from this position for a minute. You can see how many villagers you would have. He does get up enough units to actually force me back. So I just pull back and I start grouping up all my army right here. So I can get ready for a second big push. And he actually is catching up in military numbers right now. And when I realized that, yeah, he's getting out a decent sized force, I'm just like, okay, that's fine. I know my economy's better. I'm gonna back up and replenish and get a big force together. At this point I can drop a keep. That's what I do. I'm just sending all my units right here. Plenty of units in the queue. About to drop that keep as well.
Madeniyat icra eylenecek. Onu senin için inşa edeceğim.
Fast forward a little bit, you see I'm just massing units, and then I drop this keep, and he realizes what's going on, and this fight is at this point I'm just like, there's not really anything. And that's why I like to go TTC sometimes. Like, for me, I think it's a more forgiving playstyle where if you make a mistake with your army, you can still come back and win the game easily because you have a strong economy behind everything that you do. So yeah, that's about it. That's explaining my 2TC build. If you guys have any more questions about this build, or if you have anything, any more questions about Ottomans, or any types of guides you want to see about the Ottomans, or just about the game in general, let me know in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you all.